Welcome to the first video for Valhalla streaming. Valhalla streaming is going to be focused purely on creating an opportunity to share what we've learnt about creating corporations, operating in a corporation within Eve Echoes. Today we're going to be focused on taking out a fleet and doing an end space dead space. We'll be going through the basics and how to get set up for your corporation, moving through an actual run through with the corporation team, and then finishing off with just generating and making sure that we have captured all the bases around the little nitty things that seemingly can get overlooked, that make your life 1,000 times easier when trying to organize an end space, dead space run. I hope you enjoy this video. I've enjoyed making it. I'm going to head on over and we're going to get into our ship and start going through the steps. Now we're going to briefly summarize what's needed as a general infrastructure just to get to this stage. One, you need a SOV system, either Alliance or your own corporation. Second, you need a POS, player outpost in system or station in system, and you need to fit it with a gravity well. We'll have a quick look at this gravity well that we've got set up here. Yes, I do have some other parts and bits in this station, but here we're looking at this gravity well. You can see my finger going around it over down here. That needs to be activated inside your station to be able to generate a gravity well. And then you have to wait a week. That's right. Once you've got it all in place, it just makes you wait a full week, just for good measure, before it generates. So then we get to the stage, we're ready to go. How do you make it so it's a nice, easy run where your corp mates get on board and have a bit of fun? I'm not saying this is the perfect method, but this is how we've done it here at Valhalla, and people have seemed to be enjoying it. And it comes down to preparation. First of all, we use Discord to register. So we've come into our Discord. We have our PvE lobby. I'm not going to show you the contents of it, but you can essentially grab the gist of it. We put our fleet requirements into the PvE lobby, and then we say to our members, join up, tell us if you're going to be here, and be on time. Being on time is critical. Now, I say that because when we look at the manage here, I'm setting this up a little bit before the actual event, but that time, once that window comes in, it's open to everyone or to be scanned down, and then you've got 15 minutes to wait for it to stabilize, and then anyone can get into it. So it's about, you've got one advantage, you know where, when, and how it spawns. So use that advantage. It is pretty critical. Get into the end space, have a bit of fun with the colleagues, rather than having to worry too much about PvP. And that PvP, while it is an element to end space and makes you sit on your edge of the seat a bit more for this particular type of stuff, when you do it in this particular fashion and with this speed, you do tend to, one, enjoy it a bit more, and two, feel like you've accomplished something and taking on the challenges of end space. So in terms of this particular session, I'm going to show you how to set yourself up as a fleet commander, because I am going to be running the fleet. Start off with, we want to be setting our fleet up, jump into the fleet, create fleet, card. We just name this Njords Raiders. Njords Raiders, because that's what we call our PvE division. End space. And create. Once we've done that, the first thing I do, just to remind myself, is I move myself to Fleet Squad 1. Now this is important because we're only going to be having a squad of 10 for this particular exercise. And I don't want to be stuck in the fleet commander role, because we do ask everyone to have some group mods on, and then if we do come into an event and I'm not in the squad, the group mods don't work. So I set myself as the squad commander and we work off that. So squad commander and boss allow you to run your fleet, a small squad like that. So now we've got this up and running, we've got the fleet, and we click on our settings. Now the settings are pretty critical, and you'll need to remind these, and I'll go through that when we get to that stage of the video, but it's pretty critical to remind everyone to have it from fleet. When we get into the session, remind everyone if you're a Logi, which you will need Logi for T10s, make sure they have their attack command switched off. But in this case, I'm going to be running the DPS role. I want my repair command switched off. So that's ready to go. We're ready to set up. Now let's have a bit of a look at the ship. Now we have 3 roles that we ask our members to play. We have our tank, 2 Logi, and 7 DPS. Now I'm taking on a DPS role. Obviously I'm seeing my Armageddon. Now it's very critical to be prepared and ready. So you do need some tank, even though my job is DPS, and I know that you can definitely get better DPS skills and whatnot, but I'm not skilled heavily into battleships. I'm just here for a bit of fun on the battleship level. For this, either go, depending on your fit up, I will be asking people to go strikes, have them ready to go, so you do have a bit of range available to you. And the reason for that, I missed a fitting, go back and fit that. I've missed 2 fittings. I'll fit that properly. Is because you want to be working at a bit of range. From there, I have a NOS, a group shield, target, and any fast ones that already get into our group, you can slow them down by locking onto them and putting a web of fire on them. I start with wardens active, but I do have a range of drones ready to go. I am lucky, I do have a lot of drone skills, so I can use any drones that I pretty much want to, and get some pretty good results out of them. From that, I have a repair and just some drone damage on those 2, and a adaptive with a micro warp drive. Rig wise, I have this built as a bit of a tank, so I actually work on the repair rigs rather than the defense rigs. So I do have a standard defense, but I do have a highly improved repair rating for quietly reduced capacitor requirement, which is fantastic for end space, because capacitor is drained at 30% when you're in there, which we'll go through as we get there. So that's enough of me yapping on. We'll move over to when we start putting the fleet together and how to form up, and then how it spawns, and I'll come right back. So let's, as we leave, you'll notice that the spawn location is close by. Everyone else is already on grid. I'm just warping there now. So we're going to go through a quick settings check once I land. Settings are extremely important when we're doing end space. It's very similar to PvP settings. What we need to make sure that we've done is get our battle settings, auto attack the next target off, auto lock back the target is off, auto attack is off. You want to make sure your auto orbit is also off. We lost a ship in this exercise because their auto orbit was on and they took off out of the bubble. The moment you jump out of the bubble, you will be targeted and killed. They do have that. So another thing, end space is very high
on demand on your graphics of your phone or device, whatever you're using. I suggest if you don't have a device that can capture it well, use your low setting, turn everything off in your graphics. In my case, I have it on high, not super high, just high, and it works pretty well. Alright, we've got 10 people on grid, we've got 1 Guardian, 2 Logi, and 7 DPS. Now, thumbs up if you're ready, guys. Alrighty, everyone jump in. Everyone jump in and hold cloak. Everyone enter. We'll be cloaked on the other side. Alrighty. Okay. A couple of things while we're cloaked. Click on your ship, hold down, click on your ship, set approach to 1 kilometer so that you know what you're doing. Click on your ship and set 1 kilometer to 1 kilometer approach. So whenever you click approach, that's going to be approach. White Dragon, you're going to be first. Guardian, just start moving towards them, and then I'll also send out a fleet approach as well to you. If you can uncloak yourself, White Dragon, by moving forward, and then we'll get the closest ship. Right. Fleet command, approach. Okay, bubble up. Alright, so this one we're going to start attacking the closest ones to us. Have your PvE filter up, fleet command, lock and fire as they're approaching us, and I'm going to send a couple of locks. Fleet command, lock fleet. So yeah, we'll do our fleet settings while we're here. Make sure you've got your from the fleet, and if you're a DPS, you want to turn off repair command. If you're Logi, make sure you've turned off attack command, because we don't want you healing.
You can sync everyone's commands to be the same.
How do you do that?
And then just have Logi change theirs to be repairs only. You open up the fleet thing where you see like the squad 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 3 little bars. You press that on the squad you want to sync, and then you say sync commands, and it'll change everyone's from the fleet, and it'll change it to whatever you have yours set as.
Cool. So Logi, Fast, and Stefan, change yours to a repair command. Alright, White Dragon, start approaching. We want to get into 50 kilometers of the battleships, and we'll take them out. So White Dragon, what I'll get you to do, mate, is start approaching the other gate, and we'll shoot this Corpus, the one at 43 kilometers, and while we move at 50% speed, please. Alright, enter, enter, enter. Let's go. I am sending the fleet command, just sending it twice in case you weren't in on time. PV filter. Alright, we are alone in system. And we got 4 gates. So there's 3 other gates that are out there potentially. So 4 other gates. Let's get in our bubble. Don't move, White Dragon. We're coming to you. Just resend that and resend. Alright. Another trick, if you want, you can also follow the Guardian, just so you can also see that its health as it's moving up and down as we go through the different waves. Click on White Dragon, the fleet member, and set as follow, and then this health bar will show up on the left as part of the fleet. Alright, next wave's coming in. Give it a second, don't just auto lock. We want to get the small shit as it comes in. Fleet, lock fleet, lock fleet, lock fleet, box file. Lock fleet.
Was you hardened in battle? There's no coming back. And before the attack, feel your blood starts to boil in your veins as you charge. As the fire inside is ignited by bloodshed, in the circus from north, will it be as was said? Will the serpent be woken? Fenrir house, Swedish pagans marching ashore, forged in Valhalla by the hammer of Thor. Out from Asgard, a Viking ship sails, never to turn back again. And we know if we fall, our comrades awaits in the hall. As the fire inside is ignited by bloodshed, in the circus from north, will it be as was said? Will the serpent be woken? Fenrir house, Swedish pagans marching ashore, forged in Valhalla by the hammer of Thor. Out from Asgard, a Viking ship sails, never to turn back again. First to the battle, first to the feast. Destiny waiting, no retreat.
Alright, just be ready in case there is another wave. Alrighty. So, nice. Okay, what we're doing now. Okay, grey loot you can loot if you don't want it. I'm looting all the elites and the boxes. Please don't need any. I will do that as quickly as we can, and then make our way back to the gate with my drones on it.
Has begun. Shaking the ground with the force of 1,000 guns. Thrust in the line of fire, thrust into hostile land, tanks leading the way. Leading the way. Charging the lines with the force of a furious storm. Phantom swarm. 200 miles at nightfall, taken within a day, thus earning the name, earning the fame. They are the panzer elite, born to compete, never retreat. Living or dead, always ahead, fed by your dread. Rages on, wrecking morale with the sound of blazing guns. Thrust in the line of fire, thrust into hostile land, tanks leading the way. Leading the way. Leaving a trail of destruction through a foreign land. Nazi plan. Communications broken, handles are far away, thus earning the name, earning the fame. They are the panzer elite, born to compete, never retreat. Living or dead, always ahead, fed by your dread.
So to close out, we have got the loot here, and what do you do from there? We've got to split it amongst our team. But just to note from, I've reviewed the previous video of the actual finishing the system that we just looked at, and it didn't give us a warning. It just kicked us out, which was really interesting. However, loot splitting, where were we? Alright, so we've got a fair full cargo here of some loot splitting, and now we're going to show you quickly. I use honey badgers, jumping into honey badgers. It's all done here. As you can see, I've used data cores just to exchange for the new items that are not in honey badgers. Use other items and just change the price. And then you have all the people that joined, and then you go calculate loot split, and calculate loot split, and then it does it for you. So it's come up with a total for each person and what they're going to get, for a total 1.2 bill. So what you do, copy that loot split to the clipboard. I then go to Discord and post it. Too long. I'll just delete a few. Cut, paste, paste. So it comes together, goes into Discord, loot split, and then send it off. And that's how we close off a good session amongst friends here at Valhalla. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you, and I look forward to seeing and chatting with you out there in Eve Echoes. If you ever feel like coming along, having a conversation, see if you want to be a part of the Viking economy. We're definitely recruiting all willing and able people, and look forward to having the many chats that I do over the period of this game. And fly together, fly dangerously.